Next up, we got Evander to FC Cincinnati. Obviously, we just spoke to the coach. That this obviously it was before any of this stuff happened, but Evander to FC
You did
Cincy,
notice how tentative he answered the Lucho
you know that
stuff.
there's always something going on. Like,
Yeah.
yo, just tell us right there. You know, if we would have broken this story,
We could sense it, bro. Let us be the one to say it.
But Evander, after the comments last week, not last week, last season, at the end of the season, when he was basically like, they lied to me.
They lied to me. I was made promises.
I was made promises. And clearly it was at the beginning of the end of that relationship. And now that you have these cash trades. So he was sold from Portland to Cincy for $12 million, which is we're still getting used to the fact that this is even a thing.
But the first thought I had is, how you making that money back? you ain't making that money back.
Where you getting this money, bro?
Damn, bro. I mean, is it just like one of those things where it's like accounts?
My guess is no. My guess is that this is actual money, bank transfers. They went to Western Union.
Yo, money. What's the one? Money. The other Western Union.
Cash for gold?
No, hilarious.
I use that all
They
the
went to
time.
Cars for Kids. I think we messed up. We went to the wrong place. No.
They sent a $12 million
MoneyGram.
Now you could just Venmo $12 million. Now.
I believe this is Newark. It was either Newark or the Bronx. Somebody opened a MoneyGram with a MoneyGram sign, but it was a fake one.
Oh,
so all the people who were sending money, they were just giving him money, and they shut it down after a weekend.
They didn't know they were betting on horses.
No. People were like, "Can you send this money to Steve?"
Which
and they're
is-
like, "Of course." Receipt. No, none of it was real.
Kickity clack, kickity clack.
Yeah. They were like, yeah. And Steve just got it. Called. Wait a couple days to call.
Steve is happy though.
Yeah.
He's gonna buy something real
Steven
nice.
told us to tell you he's not gonna. Don't pick up the phone, call him. But he said he's happy. But yo, it was a fake money. They had the sign and everything. It was fake.
Love it.
They stole all the money in like a week, and then they bounced.
Okay, that's crime. But
It's creative.
That is textbook crime.
Yeah.
Fraud.
But we appreciate it here on the
So
Cooligans.
Evander was sold for real money.
Yeah, real money.
And Portland also brought in a
$12 million.
Yes, for $12 million. But Portland also got David Acosta
from Longs.
From Longs. Who is he a winger or is he also to replace Evander? I don't know what position. I saw some highlight. I thought he might be a winger, but
I'll look it up while you're
not
talking.
Sure. So losing Evander, I said now
huge. This was my sneak pick for MVP.
Yeah, so there's a domino effect, obviously. So Evander goes into and can obviously positionally replace Lucho Acosta. Yeah. Obviously, is he? It's a lot of you can't. It's hard to replace Lucho Acosta, and we'll probably.
I would say it's impossible to replace him.
We'll never really know what happened and what fell apart with the relationship with Lucho Acosta and FC Cincinnati. Even though we knew exactly why it fell apart with Evander and Portland. But this, to me, feels like a really great situation for Evander. He goes to a really good team, obviously losing the playoffs to NYCFC. But Evander's just such a great player, man. Even when we saw him play against...
But here's the thing. Like, I feel like we've seen what Lucho's ceiling is, which is great. I don't think he's going to get any better than this.
Okay, that's fair.
Evander has a much higher ceiling. The problem is he's it seems like he's an emotional guy, you know?
Maybe.
Remember there was like the beginning of the season they were worried like he wasn't going to show up or something. There was something there. I can't remember what it was.
I mean, we were talking about how he doesn't really like emote in when like he could score a 40-yard banger and be like, whatever. Yeah. Like he's like, I don't know.
Another day at the office, yeah.
And so part of it seemed like maybe he was proud of his own ability and stuff that he can do, but he's like, maybe I don't like that I'm doing it for this team.
Or you're not really you're putting me in a position where I can't do this more often. This is easy. I'd be doing this more if you let me play.
Yeah, maybe. So I don't know, again, what the exact issues were.
I can't even find David Acosta on FOTMob, by the way.
That's fascinating.
Did you find him any chance?
$6 million on a stranger?
Yeah.
Just some guy.
You know those guys like back in the day who would say they were Brazilian and would get contracts at teams and they've never played before? Sure. This is what's happening to them?
It's
not even coming up.
So maybe Portland we'll see what the Costa can bring. Obviously losing Evander is very difficult for Portland, but I think essentially what I'm saying, I don't think from a win percentage perspective, I think Cincinnati will probably be very similar to last season, even though they didn't have Lucho Acosta. Now, Lucho Acosta obviously goes to Dallas, and that move was $5 million to FC Dallas, and this is more of a thing where like I hope he does well. FC Dallas are not as good of a team. This is like
not when they got rid of Jesus Ferreira,
Paul Arriola.
Paul Arriola, who's a great MLS player. Paul Arriola is the type of player that goes to your team and you get better.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's Seattle, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, they both went to Seattle. Lucho, I did love the they picked him up at the airport. You know, they had a welcome at the airport that was cool to see. They did. And this is obviously a trend.
You got to do a welcome video. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I'm happy to be on the team.
But this is one because Lucho, I don't know what happened at Cincinnati. And clearly...
Well, remember, he stayed at Argentina. He wanted to stay in Argentina. That clearly didn't happen. He went back to Cincinnati. And then very quickly, they were like, no, you were right. You're not on the team. But instead of Argentina, have you thought about Frisco?
Yeah. This is an issue, I think, within American soccer and MLS where we don't really get the scoop behind this stuff. Like what went wrong. Like anything that can possibly make a club or player look bad, we just like never hear about it.
It gets swept under the rug. Someone needs to pull up that rug, bro.
Okay. So that's the negative here. But when he did his video... the one thing I watch it, I'm like, you know, first of all, I'm like, Lucho to Dallas, like what's going on here?
That's crazy.
And then he's going from a supporter shield winning team to a team that hasn't won the supporter shield in like a decade almost. But it might be like 7-8 years. But here was his welcome video.
Hey, FC Dallas fans, estoy aquí ya listo para empezar esta temporada.
And right there, so I just want to stop it there. Obviously,
you're looking at his eyes.
You look. So
look at his eyes.
He says, "Hello, FC Dallas fans."
And directly to camera. and then he hits. What's the script say?
He says, "I'm here, ready to start the season, but it's just the enthusiasm is not really there."
Well, he went from the I know this part. Hello, FC Dallas fans to now's the part I'm being asked to read.
Right.
Dallas fans, estoy aquí. Ya listo para empezar esta temporada.
And this is a thing in general with these videos that I'm like, is this a welcome video or a proof of life video? You know?
These do have like you know, a guy behind the camera holding a picture of your family. You know, the vibe
just like the script said.
Go ahead, read it, bro. You like it's the vibe you tend to get from all of these,
and because the players are.
You don't see this in NWSL videos or
no.
The women's team. There's personality.
It's just because I think to ask a footballer that
male footballer
that is over maybe 25, maybe even over like 27, 28. It's like to ask them, hold the phone, speak to the camera.
They turn into boomers. They go full boomer. I don't know. How does this work? Hello?
Their like confidence is like so totally zapped. This is not their world, to be an influencer.
You're like, the camera should track me and all my movements. I should not have to hold it.
So, So look, again, I hope all this does, because FC Dallas have basically turned over their whole squad, new coach. Hopefully it works out. But having a player like Lucho Acosta clearly is a step
team better
in the right direction.